Welcome back to the channel, guys. Hopefully this light is okay. It's kind of evening setting sun, and hopefully it looks alright when I get it to edit. The title, unfortunately, is not clickbait. I did actually crash the bike. It's the second time I've crashed, and the bike is in fairly bad shape, but I'm fine. So all things considered, it's probably one of the best outcomes that I could have wished for. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about what happened. So I crashed the bike on the track, and that'll please all those people who comment on the videos about safety hazards, about me removing my hand from the handlebar, etc, etc. None of this was done on the public road. None of it was excess speed on the public road or dangerous riding or whatever everyone else likes to comment on. It was all at Donington Park. So I took the bike up there yesterday, booked a day off work, full day ahead of me, looking forward to it. But something about the day just didn't seem quite right. So I'd call it intuition or like a gut feeling. I was rushed. I had to get the van from a different location in the morning, stuck in loads of traffic, took way longer than expected. When I eventually arrived at the track, even though I'd emailed ahead to tell them I was going to be late, nobody knew I was coming. They weren't as sort of accommodating as they usually are. Couldn't find any wristbands for me, so they had to rummage one up from the floor, just like one that they'd lost and refound, and then gaffer tape it to my wrist. There's no one there to do sighting laps, which there normally is. Usually they have instructors on rotation to do sighting laps. Pit garages were all full, so I went all the way up and down to the pit garages, eventually found a space, and then I got into the pit garage. Guys there were just not as friendly as people normally are. I think they were a bit like cliquey, if that's how you could describe it. They kind of asked me if I was lost when I turned up in the pit garage. Not normally people, if you don't know, normally at the track event, people can't do enough for you. They're really helpful, lend you spare parts or whatever. So that was a bit weird. Add to that, I did speak to one guy in my pit garage who was in a novice group. He also said that people, even in novice, were riding dangerously. He had to come off halfway through a session. People were overtaking just before the tipping in point. If you don't know track etiquette, basically nobody has mirrors and nobody looks behind you and nobody does lifesavers or shoulder checks. So what that means is that the rider in front always has priority. So if you are overtaking and the other rider in front of you is about to tip in, you do not overtake him where he's going to now cross your path. You have to respect his line. I'm in the novice category at the moment. I might move up to intermediate. Before a corner, even if somebody is slower than me, I won't overtake them when they're about to tip in, because it's almost it's just bad etiquette. It's not respectful of the other rider, and it is a little bit dangerous. This guy said people were doing that all the time to him, and when he was about to tip in, people were flying past him. It's just a little bit dangerous. There's just bad energy at the track as well. So I then, I went back on about just before lunch. I did a couple of good laps, and then I came around the corner just before the long straight. I can't remember the name of the corner, but I'll put it down. I just basically clipped, I think I must have clipped my peg or something, totally my own fault, no other riders involved, just slid off, low slided it into the grass and hit me gravel. The safety marshal was there, red flag goes up, he helped me pick my bike up, got the bike started again, then sort of gingerly rode the bike back to the pit garage to inspect the damage. The bike was kind of messed up. I've got a fiberglass track fairing on there, specifically for this kind of event really, so that if I do come off, I'm not going to smash up genuine Triumph fairings, which are no longer available or very expensive, or a combination of both. The headlights, the indicators, the mirrors, these are all expensive items that you don't really want to smash up on a track bike. So I had the foresight to take all that off and just run it with a pure track fairing, just a sort of medium quality finish fairing made of fiberglass and spray painted. But I'd done a good number on that. I've damaged that. At the back, I've damaged the seat cowling as well, and then the engine cover I'd ground down almost through. So I was very lucky that I ground the engine cover right down, so that even when the engine was running, oil didn't gush out all over the track, which would have made me incredibly unpopular, but it did sort of weep out, and I needed to fix that because I can't really go around on a bike leaking oil. One, eventually if I lose too much oil, I'm gonna risk seizing the engine. But number two, I would be very, very unpopular if I was riding a bike around the track with oil streaming out of it. So had to fix that before I went back on. Luckily, there was a rider there who was gracious enough to lend me some chemical metal. I was able to fix the engine cover so that I could basically get the end of my track day. It's a bit like repairing a puncture. You're not going to ride like that forever. I've got a spare engine cover to replace, but for the rest of the day, did the job and got me through. So I didn't do any serious damage. I'd knocked my clip on a little bit, but I was able to straighten that. My levers are still fine. My hangers for my foot pegs are still fine. You know, if you smash those, you're in quite a lot of trouble. It's quite hard to repair those out the track with the tools you got. So yeah, got back on, finished the day, but basically the bike does need a bit of repair work. It's more going to be fiberglass touching up, and my dad's quite good at doing fiberglass. He's done the odd canoe, so I'm going to ask him up on the weekend on Sunday, see if he can help me, and we'll fiberglass the bike together, which would be nice, bit of a father-son time. Hopefully he can help and, you know, show me the ropes with fixing stuff with fiberglass, so that'll be nice. But basically the kind of lesson I've learned for the day is that, yeah, trust your intuition, really. Something about the day didn't really feel right, and it proved to be the case. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, and so I'll trust my instincts a little bit more in the future. Alright guys, just wanted to give you that little update video. Hope you're all well, hope you're riding safe. I will catch you in the next one. Thanks a lot.